Straight all day.
You're now tuned in to the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques, all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is your business growth steps. We're going to talk about the steps that you're going to take to move your business forward. And maybe you have taken one of these steps before. It doesn't matter, because I'm going to lay out all the steps that it's going to take. So you should check yourself and check how you are growing and building your business to make sure you have each one of these nailed down before you move on to the next step. And if you ever start anything new, or a new venture within your business, or a new business completely, then you're going to go through these exact same steps in the process. We'll lay all that out momentarily, but before we get into that, let me tell everybody I send out this text message every morning for free called the Daily Motivation to everyone who's in my text community. This message is guaranteed to keep you focused, sharp, and on point. So if you want to receive it, just text me right now on my number 305-384-6894, and every day when that message goes out, you shall receive it. You can even respond to those messages, because I do take time every day to actually go through my text messages and reply to some of the responses that I get. And I've had people ask me, some people respond and say, is this really Dre responding to the text messages? And yes, I do actually respond to those messages. I don't outsource the response to those texts. So yes, when you get a response, that is coming from me. Secondly, Work on Your Game University. This is the place where you go to take your next step with me. Let me tell you what my superpower is, my main thing that I do, or my secret sauce, is that I can look at someone's situation that may seem complex, confusing, confounding, or stagnant for that person or for someone from the outside looking in. Break that situation down, then we put it back together in such a way that you can understand it and you can do something with it. In other words, the same thing that I do with this very show every single day. If you would like someone to help you when it comes to your business, your professional development, your personal development, maybe a combination of all of those together, work with you to do that, then you're going to join Work on Your Game University. The way you do that is by going to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Now, let's get into the topic. All right, now we're going to talk about the steps you're going to take in establishing, building, and expanding your business, regardless of what your business is or what your business sells. I will note, however, that certain business models better lend themselves to following this process than others do. I'll discuss that through some of the points that I'll make today, where there may be some exceptions, where some types of businesses it may be easier to do this than others, but every business goes through this in one way or another, even if it's not always the easiest thing to do. But who said business was supposed to be easy? Nobody that I know of. Point number one, today's topic, once again, is the business growth steps, your business growth steps. Number one is getting clear on who you serve and how you serve them, who you wish to serve, how you're actually going to serve them. This is the first step of your business. If you are starting a business right now, the first thing you need to get clear on is who you serve and how you serve them. Notice your first step is not what you do, because what you do will be answered in this question: who you serve and how you serve them. Because see, if you decide that you're going to do something, let's say you decide you're going to do thing X, Y, Z, but there's nobody out there who wants thing X, Y, Z, does it matter that you're doing it? Not really. Are you going to do much business doing it? Probably not. So the first thing you should ask yourself is who you want to serve, i.e. the people who have a need, and then what are you going to do for them? And then your answer to those questions will lend to what it is that you do. And it'd be better to answer the question by talking about what you do rather than talking about who you serve and what you do for them, rather than talking about what you do anyway, because at least then a person can kind of put themselves in the shoes of somebody who'd be receiving it. This is a universal point that applies to every business. You need to know who your customers and clients are, what they want that you are able to supply. This is what you need to know. Who are your customers and what do they want that you can supply? The better you understand the answer to these questions, the better you will do in crafting your offerings, your services, your products, and communicating to the world what you have and who it's for, because you're talking specifically to a certain group, knowing that you're giving them what they want. When you know exactly who your customer is and what they want, why they want it, and you have the communication skills to get that point across to them so that they understand you have the potential to at least make a living from your business. Now you could do a lot more than that, but you could at least make a living from your business when you know who you're serving and how you're serving them. Now this is not guaranteed you're going to make millions of dollars in business, but you can at least make a living and pay your bills when you have this part down pat. Now I'm serving these people and I'm helping them with this. When I first got into my first entrepreneurial venture, at least creating my own stuff, was selling basketball training programs, and even at a $4.99 price point, I knew exactly who my customer was and exactly what they wanted, and I knew why they wanted it. So that was enough, just with that alone, for me to generate a full-time income just from selling my programs, even though these were, again, $4.99 a piece. I'm not guaranteed I could go any further than that, but I could at least make a living. So any of you who's in business right now, if you at least have this question answered, you're probably making a living from your business. If you are not able to make a living from your business right now, or side hustle, whatever it is you're doing, it's probably because you have not nailed down the answer to this first point. Who are you serving? How are you serving them? Why do they want it? Get clear on that. Then you can at least make a living. You can at least go full time in your business. Then we can move on to the next step. Point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is your business growth steps. Number 2, you need an amazing offer. Keyword, amazing. You need an amazing offer, not just a good offer, not just an okay offer, an amazing offer. What is it? The definition of the word amazing. It means causing great surprise or wonder. Also, astonishing. You need an offer that is astonishing. Do you astonish people with the offer that you're giving them? An offer is different than a product, folks. You see, a product is just the thing that people get. So I could sell you a set of tires for your car. That's the product, is the tire. The offer is everything that is involved with what they get. So let's go back to my own personal example. When I was selling training programs for basketball players, the product was the training program. So here's a program that's going to show you how to get better at dribbling the basketball. The offer, on the other hand, is that you're going to be a better ball handler or a better shooter, or you're going to make the high school basketball team, or next time somebody passes you the ball in the game, you'll be able to dribble and get from one point on the court to another point on the court while still dribbling the ball without bouncing the ball off your foot or getting the ball stolen from you by your opponent. That's the offer. The offer is the outcome and what they're going to get that goes along, that is a result of the product. So you need to understand this difference, and you should use this difference in your communication. An offer is about everything that someone gets when they invest in whatever it is that you're selling. Offer also includes the extras or the bonuses, if there are any, that are included with the purchase. And you should have a bunch of extras and bonuses. You just need to think about it. You need to brainstorm what are the extras and bonuses that somebody gets when they work with me. So if you watch something like the Home Shopping Network or QVC, you know, the TV shows where people sell stuff to you in infomercial style. And these people make a lot of money, by the way. So any of you ever looked at that stuff and thought it was a joke, you can think that, but understand these people make a lot of money, people on those TV shopping networks. And there are people out there in business who invest a ton of money, time, attention, and energy in trying to get on those TV shows because of the opportunity of how much money they can make if they get their product on those shows and actually sell something. It's similar to the Oprah effect of, let's say, an author who has a book. Getting on the Oprah show is similar to getting on the Home Shopping Network. Doesn't guarantee everything's going to pop off, but it gives you a hell of a chance to do so. But anyway, on the Home Shopping Network, if you were to buy something like the super duper house mop through that infomercial, right? You notice that they always throw in an extra one. They'll give you an extra mop plus a coffee mug for free if you order the mop within the next 25 minutes. All of that stuff combined makes it an offer instead of just a product. Okay? And offers sell better than products because you're giving people bonuses and extras, and you give people an incentive to do something right now. People like offers. You give people an offer, you want to give them so much that they're like, damn, how can I say no to this? And that's why people buy. People like extra stuff. All of us do. And it's much easier to sell someone when you sell them on an outcome rather than just the thing that they get. You can sell people on the thing that they get. Like, you can say something like, hey, I sell coaching. And maybe some people will go around and they will buy coaching. But what people really want when they buy coaching is they want the outcome that comes from the coaching, which means you're going to be a more mindful person, or you're going to get over that trauma that has been dogging you for the last 10 years, or you're going to be in better physical shape, or you're going to be more confident, or you're going to make more money in your business. That's the offer, is the outcome of what they get, not just the product that they are literally paying for. So when you sell people on an outcome rather than just the thing that they get, you got a much better chance of getting people to, as in the sales world, as we say, convert, to actually do what you want them to do. And in the copywriting world, we call this the features versus the benefits. Now you should focus on benefits. Features are the things that they get. Benefits are the results of the things that they get. And when you focus on benefits, you do a much better job of speaking to people's subconscious and speaking to their emotional desires. And remember that people buy things on emotions. So speak to emotions, not just to logic. Features are logical things that they get. Doesn't mean that the features don't matter. They do matter. But the benefits of why they get the features, that's what you want to focus on. And any of you who's taken any classes or read any books or know anything about copywriting, or you are good at copywriting, you should be good at focusing on benefits. And if you are a copywriter and you forgot to focus on benefits, go look through some of your copy that you've been writing or speaking about lately and fix it up. Point number 3, marketing. Today's topic, once again, is your business growth steps. Third point is marketing. I gave it away. What does marketing mean? I'm going to say that you know exactly who you want to sell and exactly what they want, and you put together a great offer that you think will be irresistible to other people. All right, so let's say that you've done all of that, okay? You know who you want to sell, you know exactly what they want, and you have an amazing offer that is astonishing to where it will be irresistible to somebody that they absolutely have to go buy it. Okay, let's say you got all those pieces in place. Now, you have to let the world know that you and your offer exists. They have to know that you are there. They have to know that, hey, this thing that I could possibly want is over there, and all I had to do is go over there and do something in order to get it. You pull out my credit card, write a check, give them cash, and I can have this great offer that this person has. I wish I knew about this yesterday. I wish I knew about it 3 years ago. I wish somebody had told me about this last week. This is where marketing comes in, is letting the world know what you're doing. Marketing is your communication to the world that lets people know what you have, why you have it, what it does for them, why they want it, and how to get it. Let me say that again. Marketing is your communication to the outside world that allows people to know what you have, why you have it, what it does for them, why they want it, and how to get it. All this is part of the marketing process, all those pieces that I just said. And you need to answer all those questions in people's minds in order to get them to take action. This is why I've been talking the last couple of episodes of the show, why selling is not always easy. Selling is not always easy. It's a difficult challenge to sell, not because of the particular product that you're selling or the industry that you're selling in or the price of whatever you're selling. None of those things is what makes selling a challenge. What makes selling a challenge is that you had to move human beings to do something that if it wasn't for you, they probably would not do it. Now, there are some sales you'll make with people who are action takers and they're high on personal initiative. These are the type of people, like many of you who listen to the show, who you will go on your own volition and just go do something. You don't need anyone to push you or goad you or give you an incentive to do it. You'll just do it on your own volition. Most human beings are not like that. And just to be honest, most people, even those you listen to this show, you may have the intention of being like that, but are you actually like that? In my experience, most people are not. I would say even amongst a select group of people, and people who listen to a show like this is a personal and professional development show. You are in the upper echelon of human beings out there, even amongst the upper echelon folks. And listen, I talk to a lot of people who are in that group. Most of the people I deal with on a daily basis are in that group, still have a challenge of moving themselves to action. So I would say over the whole population, maybe about 2% of people move themselves to action on personal initiative, but amongst the upper echelon type of people who listen to a show like this, I would say it's still only about 80-20. Still about 20% of you are that type, but 80% of you are still having an issue moving yourself to action. Maybe not as much of an issue as the wider population, but you still got an issue doing it. And this is why selling is a challenging job, not because of the product or the service or the price. It's because you got to deal with human beings. And human beings are complex and can be confusing and frustrating, whatever words you want to use there, when you're trying to get them to do something that they, for whatever reason, aren't doing, even though they need to know that they know that they need to do it. So marketing is your way of answering all these questions, and you got to answer all of these questions to get somebody to do something. Now, someone can answer all these questions for themselves within 2 seconds. Let's say when I was playing basketball, someone was selling a training program that would help me in a particular area of my game. Okay, I wanted what do they have? A way, something that can help me do better at the crossover move in basketball. I already know I want that. So it took me less than a second to decide I want that. Why did they make it? Well, because I'm an expert at the crossover dribble. Look at these videos of me doing it. Okay, answer that question. What's it going to do for me? I'm going to show you how to do the crossover dribble. I'll break it down, show you, give you demonstrations and drills on how to do it. Okay, I want that. Why would you want it? So you can shake defenders off and create open space for yourself, and you can wow people when you go on the playground, and everybody's going to be looking at you like you're the best player in the world because you had this great crossover dribble. And how do you get it? Well, you pay me 3 easy payments of $17.99, and you get this training program. All you got to do is put your credit card in right here on this website. Understand, answering all these questions you can do within a span of 10 seconds. Some people might take 10 minutes, or other people might take 10 days before all those questions get answered. This is why we do things like marketing. This is why we do advertising. This is why we do content, because we're continually dripping on people who need more information to take action. There are people in my world, some of you listen to this now, some people were members of my university, some of you are a combination of both, who first time you came across me, you might have only consumed my content for like 5 minutes. You already knew you wanted it, and you went and you bought something right then within 5 minutes. There's some of you who've been listening to this show every day for 5 months, and you have not taken any action yet. Doesn't make you wrong, doesn't mean anything wrong with you. Just different people have different thresholds that need to be crossed before they take certain actions. Now, I will say, however, those of you in that 5-month group, metaphorically, it doesn't have to be 5 months, it could be 2 years, it could be 5 weeks. The longer it takes you to get a threshold crossed to move you to action, understand the more of your life has gone by and the less that you have left in order to do something or get the outcome that you're looking to get. Understand your time is not unlimited. So even if you do make decisions slowly, or it takes you longer to come to a decision, understand at some point now you will not have much time left with which to make decisions, because your life's going to be over. All right, every human being is on the clock. So I would suggest you get faster at decision making, and I have episodes on that concept of decision making. Go to workonyourgamepodcast.com, and you can search through the archive, the history of the show, every episode we've ever put out. Okay, so this is why I've emphasized that marketing is the #1 job that you have in business, because marketing is your communication to the outside world. This is why you must be a very strong communicator in what you're doing if you're going to be, especially if you're going to be an entrepreneur. You should be a strong communicator no matter what you do, because you're always selling something. And if you're already an entrepreneur, you should always be working on sharpening your communication skills, because it will improve your ability to sell more of your stuff. You'll be able to sell more stuff the better you can communicate what you have and why people want it. And when you sell more stuff, theoretically, you'll make more money. Now, hopefully you're not losing money on every sale, because then you'll lose more money. But as long as you're making money on every sale, the more stuff you sell, the more money you will make. Stronger communicators can demand and receive higher prices. Why? Because they can better speak to the desires of the people to whom they are selling. And understand that when you are very strong at marketing, you do not need to have a whole warehouse full of different products to sell. Now, look at a company like Apple, for example. They make a majority of their money from the iPhone. Depending on who you ask, is anywhere between 50 and 60% of the money that Apple earns every year comes from the iPhone. In 2022, I was just looking at this, 52% of Apple's revenue came from the iPhone. 30% was from home products and services, 10% from computers, and 7% from wearables, things like the watch. There's a billboard across the street from my home. Apple has had control of this billboard for years. I don't think they own the billboard, but they have continually rented the space out. And they change that billboard every 4 to 6 weeks. And over the last 12 months, I can only remember one time that the advertisement on that billboard was not for the iPhone. It was one period where they had the AirPods on it. Every other billboard they've had up there, and they've had about 8 different billboards over the last year, every other billboard was an advertisement for the iPhone. Everything else is just different versions of marketing the exact same product. And I'm sharing that to say this to you. You don't have to have 30 different products to make more money in your business. You just got to get better at marketing the one that people are actually buying. So you need to look at your stats. You got to know your numbers, folks. We talked about knowing your numbers. Let me see what episode that was where we talked about know your numbers, because all of you should have listened to this episode. That was episode 2446. So if you have not listened to that one, please make sure you go listen to that episode, because you need to know your numbers. And point number 4, today's topic once again is your business growth steps. Number 4 is scaling. Every business needs some level of the first 3 points. Okay, those first 3 points are very important in your business. You got to have all of these in place. Now, this 4th level lends itself to certain businesses better than it does others. So this is the one point that I said in the intro. You may be better able to do this with certain type of businesses than you can with other businesses, and I'll give you some examples. Scaling is when you take the efforts that you're currently doing in your business and you multiply the amounts so you can serve a multiple of people without a linear multiple of effort. So what exactly does that mean? Let me give you an example. McDonald's, for example, can serve a Big Mac to 1,000 people. They can sell 1,000 Big Macs today and probably already have. But if McDonald's wants to serve Big Macs to 1 million people, understand they don't need to multiply their efforts by 1,000, because that's what a million is. It's 1,000 times 1,000. They don't need to do 1,000 times harder work to serve 1,000 times more customers. All because that would be a linear increase in effort to match a linear increase in output. Is everybody following what I'm saying here? If you didn't catch that, hit the rewind button and listen to it again. Scaling is when your output goes up, but your effort does not have to go up as much. That's what scaling means. You're multiplying, not adding, but multiplying. Adding is when you have to increase effort to increase output. Multiplying is when you give a little bit more effort, but you get a lot more output. That's what scaling means in a nutshell. Now, there's it can go a lot deeper than that. There are people who wrote entire books on scaling, but that's pretty much what scaling means. And again, you have to set your business up to be scaled. You can't just wake up in the morning and scale a business. You have to have a process, and there had to be certain mechanisms in place that allow you to scale a business. It doesn't just happen overnight just because. And again, lends itself to certain businesses better than others. So if your business is based around one individual person, that is harder to scale. Why? Because you cannot scale yourself. So if your business is, let's say you have a dog walking business. So here in my neighborhood, there's this woman I see, she has a dog walking business, and she's always up and down the elevators of my building because she has clients in the building, and she gets access to their apartments, she gets their dogs, and she takes the dogs out for a walk, and she brings them back and put them back in the house while the owner of the dog rather, is maybe out at work or wherever they're at, traveling, whatever the situation happens to be. Now, it's possible that dog walking business can be scaled, but it can't scale if the girl who does the dog walking is the only one doing the dog walking, because she can't multiply how many times she walks dogs in a day. She can, but only to a certain limit, because it's only 24 hours in a day, so it's only so many dogs she can walk in a day. But if she gets 3 other dog walkers to work with her underneath the umbrella of her company, now she can start scaling out her business, because now she can walk 3 times as many dogs because she has 3 times as many people working with her. Get what I'm saying? So it depends on how your business is set up, whether you can scale something. Anything, theoretically, you can scale pretty much anything you do in business, but you have to put the right mechanisms in place to do so. If you have a coaching program, for example, you can scale that, but it can't be scaled with you doing all the coaching, because there's only so many hours in a day. Similar to the dog walker, there's only so many people that you personally can coach one-on-one. Now, if you coach people in a group, now you can scale that up even with just you, because now you can just get as many people as you can fit into the group, as many as you're comfortable with, or as many as your clients are comfortable being around. That's a way you can scale. You can also just get other coaches who work with you, who understand your framework, your system, your philosophy, your theories, whatever, and they can coach people on your behalf. So people who come into your program don't have to get coached personally by you, but they can get coached under your system and under your umbrella. So that's a way that you can scale up, let's say something like coaching or something in the consulting space. So you need to understand this if you ever thought about or you are considering scaling up your business. Because you cannot scale yourself as a human, but you can scale the size of your audience, and you can scale how you deliver. You may have to make some changes fundamentally to the structure and the logistics of how you do things. So if you build a business around you doing everything one by one, you personally doing things, you can't scale that, because again, it's just one of you. But you can set things up to be different. You can alter the business model. And we talked about business models in episode number 2495, how to clarify your business model. And your business model can change over time. So you can alter your business model to make it work for you. So a company like McDonald's can scale what they do because McDonald's created a standard process for how things work in their restaurant. So if you go into a McDonald's, no matter what you order or where you go, you're going to get pretty much the same process. In the United States, every McDonald's is run pretty much the exact same way. You're going to get a similar experience. The product's going to look and taste pretty much the same. This is what scale looks like. Now, of course, there are much deeper explanations of scaling. Again, when it comes to businesses, I told you there are entire books written on the subject. You can go on Amazon and look them up if you wish. I would suggest that before you even think about scaling, you master the first 3 steps first before you think about scaling anything. Because if you don't have a clean process for how you're doing business, you don't want to scale something that is not properly set up, because all that's going to do is accelerate the speed with which you fail. All right, with that said, let's recap today's class, which is your business growth steps. Talking about the steps that you take establishing, building, and expanding a business regardless of what it is. Number 1, who you want to serve and how you serve them. This is a universal point that applies to every business. You must be clear on exactly who you want to serve, how you serve them. Once you get clear on this, you can at least, bare minimum, make a full-time living from your business. If you are not making a full-time living yet from your business, it's because you have not yet mastered this first point. Point number 2, you must have an amazing offer. Amazing offer, something that blows people away, astonishes them, something that they're like, damn, I wasn't even thinking about buying anything today, but I got to buy that because I absolutely need it and there's no way I can say no. That's what you want people saying about what you're offering. And again, the whole world doesn't have to say it, just the people who you want to serve. Point number 1, what they need to be saying this about your offer. So it needs to be something that they absolutely need. That's why you got to be dialed in to who you are talking to. Choosing your audience is very important. It's not just randomly talking to the world and hoping and praying that somebody wants to buy it. All right, you got to be strategic about this. And this is why you have strategists who can help you with your business. I'll tell you how I can help you momentarily. Number 3, marketing. Marketing is your communication to the world to let people know that you actually exist. Sometimes there are people who are listening to me right now. You have great things that you want to offer to certain people in the marketplace. The reason why you can't get your stuff into their hands or serve them with what you have, simply because they do not know that you're there. They don't know that you exist because you haven't really gotten to the marketing step yet. And this is the 3rd step. You have to have really good marketing and consistent marketing that shows up in front of the people who could possibly be interested in what you're selling. This is all about communication skill. You must be a strong communicator. You must be a consistent communicator, and understand also that different people take different amounts of time to move themselves to action. So think about a company like Apple. They make the majority of their money from the phone. Why? Because all of us do is we get the phone, then we get the new version of the phone, then we get the next phone, then we get the next phone and the next phone. They make more than half of their money from the phone. If they just shut everything else down and just focus on the phone, Apple would still be a multi-billion, with a B, billion-dollar company just from the phone alone. They don't need to sell anything else if they didn't want to. So, and then point number 4 is scaling. Every business needs all 3 of the first 3 in place. Who are you talking to? You have an amazing offer, and how are you marketing it so that people know that it exists? If you wish, then you can take it to the scaling level. Listen, you can make a great income. You can be in the top 95th percentile of income earners in America just by doing steps 1, 2, and 3. You do not need to scale your business if you don't want to. If you want to scale your business, step number 4, it requires you have a structure that lends itself to being scaled. Again, there are entire books and courses and things that people make about scaling businesses. There are people whose entire businesses are built around helping people scale businesses. So I'm giving you an overview, bare bones skeleton of this. Make sure you master points 1, 2, and 3 before you even get into scaling, because if you scale something that is not set up properly, you will fail, and you will fail fast, and everything you created will go to dust. But if you want to scale, look at a company like McDonald's. All right, they can serve 1,000 Big Macs. They can serve 1,000,000 Big Macs. They don't have to multiply their efforts by 1,000 to get from 1,000 to 1,000,000 Big Macs, because they have a scalable system. And key word there, system. When you have a system in place, you can scale it. If you are just going off of hard work, effort, luck, and talent, you cannot scale those things because not everybody has them. So you can't scale something that is not multiplicable. You need something that's duplicatable, that anyone can do, even if they don't have your talent, even if they don't have your personal initiative, even if they don't have your je ne sais quoi. Can you still scale it? If the answer is you need to think about it, then it's not scalable. It should be absolutely yes. So next time you go to McDonald's, look at the people working there. All right, you think they're that much smarter than you? They might not be smarter than you at all, but McDonald's still sells 1,000,000 Big Macs. Why? Because the people working there don't have to be smart. It's because the system is smart. The humans don't have to be smart. You need a system such that you can say the same thing about what you do. That person working for me doesn't have to be that smart. The system is so smart that even a dumb person can't mess it up. That's what's scalable. Until you have that, do not even think about trying to scale anything. So with all that said, text me. Tell me the best idea you got from this class. Tell me what you're going to do different. Tell me some insight that you got from this master class. Here's my number, 305-384-6894. Send me a text, let me know. Also, once you text me, you'll be in my text community. You'll be getting the daily motivation text that I send out for free every day. Secondly, if you want to get help with at least the first 3 steps of what you got going on here, again, most of the people I talk to are somewhere in these first 3 steps. Okay, and again, you can get in the top 95% of income earners in America. That will take you somewhere between $200,000 and $300,000 a year just by doing 1, 2, and 3. All right, if that would make you have a pretty good year and your kids will have a good Christmas with that, then you need to master steps 1, 2, and 3, and I can help you with that. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Again, workonyourgameuniversity.com for steps 1, 2, and 3. Step 4 too, but 1, 2, and 3, 99% of the time, that's what people need. Work on your game. Dre all day.